All right, today we're cracking open a book that truly sparked a movement, Gretchen Rubin's The Happiness Project. We're going to distill its core ideas and look at it as a kind of blueprint, a way to actually engineer a happier life.
You know, this book started a global conversation, and it all began with a pretty simple but really profound idea. The whole thing is, you don't just wait for happiness to strike like lightning. You can systematically build it, right where you are with the life you already have. So this is the big question that got Gretchen Rubin started. She tells this story about being on a city bus one day and having this light bulb moment. She realized, she wasn't unhappy, but she definitely wasn't as happy as she could be. She felt like she wasn't really savoring her life. So right then and there, she decided she was going to dedicate a whole year to changing that.
And here's what's so powerful about the whole premise. She wasn't looking to completely overhaul her life. She didn't want a new job, a new city, none of that. She just wanted to appreciate the life she already had, more. So it became this structured, year-long experiment in finding more gratitude and joy.
So how'd she do it? Well, her method looks really simple on the surface, but it's incredibly effective. She designed this super clear framework that takes these vague goals we all have, be happier, and turns them into a systematic month-by-month plan.
So here are the nuts and bolts. It's a 3-step model that honestly anyone can follow. First, you just commit to 1 year. That's the container. Second, you break that year down into 12 monthly themes. And third, and this is key, for each theme, you create a few very specific, concrete actions. It's how do you turn this huge, abstract goal into small, doable, daily tasks.
And these monthly themes, they touched on every single part of her life. So for example, October was all about marriage. And the resolutions weren't about grand, romantic gestures. No, it was about small, consistent things that build connection, like a simple commitment to just kiss in the morning, kiss at night.
Then November rolled around, and the focus shifted to parenthood. And again, it was all about tangible change through these tiny habits. For instance, making a special point to give warm greetings and goodbyes to her kids. That wasn't just a routine, it was a conscious way to build a more loving, secure feeling at home.
But it wasn't just about our relationships with people. September's theme was possessions, digging into the nitty-gritty of our relationship with our stuff. And this highlights such a key insight of the whole project. Our physical space has a huge impact on our mental space.
So to really see how this framework works, let's zoom in on her very first month, January. The whole month was dedicated to boosting energy. And the thinking was so smart. Without energy, trying to stick to any other goal for the rest of the year would be a huge struggle.
So these were her 5 core resolutions for the month, and you can see they're all about building this foundation of physical and mental energy. Go to sleep earlier, exercise better, clear out the clutter, finally deal with that one nagging task, and, this is a great one, actually act more energetic to feel more energetic.
And if you're wondering just how powerful these simple habits are, get this. Rubin mentions a study that suggested getting just 1 extra hour of sleep a night gives you a bigger happiness boost than a $60,000 raise. I mean, think about that. What an incredible return on investment.
Okay, let's dive a little deeper into one of the most powerful resolutions from January: toss, restore, organize. This whole idea of tackling clutter ended up being a cornerstone to the project because it shows this undeniable link between our outer world and our inner world.
And this quote just nails it. Rubin realized that a messy desk or a stuffed closet, it wasn't just a physical mess. It was like this low-grade, constant static in her brain, draining her energy. So clearing out that physical stuff literally created more mental space and calm.
What's really cool is she doesn't just say declutter. She actually gives us categories to help figure out our own patterns. Do you have aspirational clutter, like that fancy kitchen gadget you've literally never used? Or nostalgic clutter, from a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore? When you can name it, you can start to let it go.
And through all this, she came up with some amazing, practical rules we can all use. The 1-minute rule is an absolute game changer. If it takes less than a minute, just hang up your coat. Put the dish in the dishwasher, do it now. The evening tidy-up is like a reset button for the next day. And just asking yourself, hey, why don't I hang up my coat, can magically reveal the simple solution.
This whole process led to this kind of surprising discovery. After she cleaned out her closet, she wasn't stressed out by a million choices. Everything that was left was something she actually loved and wanted to wear.
And it turns out, having fewer options made it feel like she had more to wear because it was all good stuff. It just made life easier and, well, happier.
So, okay, let's zoom out, because this is about more than just decluttering tips or sleeping more, right? The whole project is really built on this powerful philosophy of action. It's a totally different way of thinking about how we can actually shape our own happiness. To steer her through the year, Rubin created her personal 12 commandments. Think of them as her core principles. And you can see here, they're this great mix of the really profound, like there is only love, the super practical, do it now, and the really self-accepting, be Gretchen.
This all comes back to a really powerful idea from the philosopher William James, and it's a total cornerstone of her work. You can't just decide to feel happy. It doesn't work that way. But you can decide to act happy. You can choose to smile, to act with energy, to reach out to a friend. And the amazing insight is that if you do the action, a lot of the time, the feeling will actually follow.
So let's make this really practical for you, right now. Using that 1-minute rule, what's one tiny thing you could do right after you're done here to bring a little more order or connection into your day? Maybe it's finally replying to that text, or just putting one book back on the shelf. The whole point of the project is that happiness is built in these tiny little actions.
In the end, the Happiness Project is a call to action. It's a challenge, really. It's asking us to stop just waiting around for happiness to show up and to start actively, thoughtfully, and even playfully engineering it for ourselves. And as this quote suggests, yeah, it takes some effort to be light, but that effort, it pays off in some pretty profound ways.